going on, guys? I haven't done a green guitar in a while, and I built this beautiful humbucker telly about a month ago, and I wanted to stain it green. This is the top that I had the bad glue line, and I wanted to do this in a nice dark green. I haven't done that in a while. I made this body. This is Eastern White Pine with a top from Kimball Hardwoods, and this will look outstanding. We've got some Angelus leather dies. You can purchase these in the link below. We're going to start by putting green on first and then adding the black later. I want to really keep it green, and sometimes when you add black it kind of washes out the base color, so we're going to do a reverse dye today and start with the main color first. So I've got an old t-shirt, and we'll apply 2 thick coats on this top. It's got a really neat figure in this wood. And we'll try a green. Don't see any scratches that I need to sand out, which is a good sign. No matter how many times you think you're clean, you'll see some scratches. So you can already see how much that grain is getting picked up by the green. If I put black in, the black would soak in along these grain lines, and I would have a real tough time getting the green to look right. So that is why I am doing this way, because of how much sort of structure and grain is in this piece of wood. So this is a piece of pine, just like Leo used in those first couple guitars. It'll take a stain okay, but it gets a little blotchy at times. And you can see the difference between maple and pine and how much different that coloring is. We'll definitely go over this with black. Surprised at how much different that coloring is. It's got a nice green on the pine, and the maple is got a little bit more yellow, I guess, in it, or brown. I don't know. The other problem with pine is sometimes there's some sap pockets and the stain does not absorb. But the green on the pine looks really sort of psychedelic. This is the one thing with pine, is you've got a little sap pockets here and there, and the stain does not absorb into them. You can see that through the end grain here. It's the only negative thing about staining pine. I get a lot of questions from folks asking about how to stain pine, and you can go right on it, but sometimes the wood just doesn't want to do it. Real neat grain lines in the back. When I add the black over this, should look awesome. We're gonna layer back with some black now. Got this Angelus black, jet black is what they call it, really dark color. And we're just going to
put this on the sides and the back really quick. Doing this in double speed for you guys. This is where I'm just trying to see what the coloring is going to look like. If it doesn't look right, I could sand it out. If I like it, I can, sort of finesse that final color. And here I'm just sort of figuring out how this is going to look. So we'll do the inside, and then we'll do the sides as well. I really do like the look of black and a color. For some reason, when I do that, the mix comes out really nice, and it really just has a neat look. So this is the black going on the back. And the grain lines here are actually really nice. They're nice and wide. And then the color sits in the middle with the green and the black, and I really love this look. There I put on a little bit too much black, but there's another rag just up to the left that we'll use to soak some of this up. Sometimes you can put too much on, which is what I did here. And we'll just use this clean rag to pull it up. And you can see the green tint with the black, which looks really cool. So we'll move to the front, and we're going to feather on the black. Like I said before, I didn't want the black to sit in those grain lines. I wanted to sit on the top. That way I could control it a lot better. And here we were just sort of feathering in on the edge of the body to get that black pulled up a little bit. But I still got my dark green base, which is what I'm going for. So we'll come back with some green and sort of watercolor this in. Get it to blend and fade nicely. You can see as I'm going in those circles, I'm taking that black and I'm pushing it back, and then I'm also bringing it up as well. And then as I'm going back and forth here, I'm trying to get a hard line faded away and get, that dark black on the outside. It's a little bit of a trick to get this to look right. Here you can already see I've got that nice dark black coloring, and the green looks pretty good. I do have a scratch on the bottom that we'll have to take care of. We're real close here. One little bit of green in the center. Fade all of that back and forth. You can see how I'm bringing the colors up and back. And then we're looking pretty good. Here's the scratch that we're going to sand out. Just some 320, and we're going to just sand it out. And then go ahead and add the color back on top of it, and we'll be fine. We added a little bit of black, and then we've got a little bit of green, and it fades away. We're then going to hit this with one of those Scotch-Brite pads. Just wanted to see what this looks like now that I'll layer off that first little bit of color. This is like steel wool on steroids. And as I pull this coloring out, you can see there's a little bit brown, I don't know, yellowish tint that I did not like. So we'll come back with the final color here.
Played around with some different colors, did some sanding, got it looking pretty good. The back, I think, is my favorite. The black and the color always comes out really nice. I always really like the way, if you put a color down in black over it with these dyes, they look great. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna apply a little bit more green because it needs just a little bit more. This is still a little bit too yellow from the maple, but we want to apply a little bit of green, and then we'll feather the black on the sides. You can kind of see that as I sanded that out, but it needs one more coat Actually, we'll go with a clean rag here. And next time when we do the steel wool trick, we'll actually peel out only a little bit of color. But I applied way too much color before and kind of wanted to just see where it landed. And you can see that's what I was going for. And that's just part of the tricks with this stuff. So we're going to take the black rag and a little bit of green. We're just going to work some magic up here. Nolan, I can hear you, please. Take a little more green. That sort of fades it all in. Just get a little more black on the sides. Last motion is to just rub it all in. And that is awesome. We'll let this dry for 24 hours and then we'll just hit it a little bit with the steel wool, pull a little bit of the color out. But that is an awesome looking green and black top.
So since I got the coloring so close, I am just going to use a little bit of the steel wool trick on the corners and in the middle a little bit. Just it'll brighten up just slightly, and since I know I've got the color right, I don't need to do much to it. So last time I took that Scotch-Brite pad and I did not like when I took too much color out, so here I know I'm just rubbing it and just trying to see how much I've taken out. It's looking pretty good. You can see the dye on my hand and a couple spots. We're good. We're going to hit this with then, I think, 6 coats of sanding sealer. This is probably the 6th coat, 5th coat. Was doing this late at night and couldn't film, but you can see the beautiful coloring on this. And I've got that black on the outside with the just a slight lighter green on the inside, and I'm thinking this is really killer. Here's the 6th coat, and then I'm not sure what final finish we'll put on this, but I do have a guy asking to put gold hardware on it already, and he wants it, so we'll see if he takes it. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.